3,000. That's right, we've flipped more than 3,000 profitable houses and can teach you how to do the same thing. Click the Academy link for your free roadmap to financial freedom.
Hello, my name is Gerald Sanders. I am a wholesaler / investor in Atlanta, Georgia. When I think of Peter's coaching program, I think simplistic. He simply lays out all of the instructions. If you simply follow them, they're ABC 1, 2, 3, and they produce results. At least for myself, they produce results. Since working with Peter, my investing has grown tremendously. And most importantly, I got started. I bumped around for many years trying to figure out how to get started, what to do, what letters to write, who to talk to, blase, blase. And I finally made the call to speak with Peter. Once again, he gave me the precise instructions on what to do, and it got me started. It got me doing deals. It got me speaking with other investors, other wholesalers, other buyers, and now I'm moving. So just getting started has been a tremendous jump for me.
Hi, Peter Vexelman. So today I want to talk to you about something that I know you're coming across all the time if you're at all trying to do this business. And that is this: who holds the earnest money? I've literally seen this one little thing in the business kill so many deals that potentially could have made everyone money involved, but this whole idea of who holds the earnest money just kills them. So here's what happens so many times with investors. You know, you're out there, you're putting deals together, you're making offers, sellers, maybe other wholesalers, investors, whoever you're making offers to, and then you get a deal. And then you're confronted with this question from the seller. Hey, I want $1,000 or I want $500 or $2,000 of earnest money. And then the whole thing starts going sideways because you get confused. You're thinking, well, gosh, do I give them earnest money? Some of you don't even have the earnest money to give to these individuals. Some of you are scared to give earnest money to these sellers. Some of you are even confused whether or not you should or shouldn't. It's not like you don't have it, you just don't know what to do. Here's my contention. It's a very simple one. We do not give earnest money to sellers. That's how I run my business for 15 some years, and that's how we run it to this day. And if you follow me, you know we do thousands of deals here. So how is it that we can do thousands of deals and never worry about handing over earnest money to sellers, whereas some of you are trying to do 1 or 2 deals and you can't get past just one time of this earnest money question? So let's just put it in a different perspective, and I think you'll understand. For those of you that ever bought personal houses for yourselves, probably if you ever bought a personal house, chances are you work with a real estate agent. Now go think about the time, or maybe you sold a personal house using a real estate agent. Now go back to the time where you actually found that house, you put an offer on that house, let's say the offer gets accepted, now it's time to put earnest money up. Did you go to the seller and give him that earnest money? No way in the world. No way in the world. You've either put that earnest money with the realtor, kind of a third-party entity, or maybe a closing attorney or an escrow agent. Never with a seller. But then for some reason, in the investor world, we totally lose our mind and senses, and we start thinking, well, gosh, in the investor world, I have to give money to the seller. No way. That's not how real estate works. Sellers do not hold earnest money. Let me tell you why else we never give money to the sellers. Guess what? Not every deal we do ends up closing. Sometimes there's issues with the house during due diligence. Sometimes sellers potentially could misrepresent the deal. 20,000 different reasons why a deal may not close. Can you imagine here at our level where we can have days where we put 10 or 15 or 20 properties under contract in one day? Can you imagine what would happen if we would literally start giving earnest money to everybody? I'd have to have a whole department here chasing earnest money to get it back. It's just not a feasible model to build this business around. So you have to be very confident when, guess what, some of the biggest buyers in the United States right now, hedge funds, do you think they're going to give a seller earnest money? No way. On top of that, not only are they not going to give earnest money, they're not going to even put it with a third-party agency like a closing attorney or an escrow agency until after due diligence. So it's very simple. When people ask us for earnest money, we just simply tell them, yeah, there's no problem with earnest money, but our closing attorney is going to hold them. So all you have to do is get connected with a local title company or a local closing attorney and warehouse like $500 with them, maybe $1,000 with them. Maybe fax them a copy of a check. And just use them as somebody that'll back you up whenever you're doing a deal. Potentially the seller may want to call them and verify them. It's very easy to do. Or you could do what the hedge funds do, which sometimes we do ourselves. If they want earnest money, it'll be delivered to them after due diligence, because at that point there's a comfort level that the deal is going forward. And even after due diligence, my recommendation is don't give it to them. Warehouse it in some kind of a neutral place, like a title agency or escrow agency or a closing attorney. So again, the question of earnest money is a very simple one. We do not, and I don't think you should as a buyer, ever give sellers your earnest money. It's not a done thing to do. The only time that happens is when that seller is trying to intimidate you. Don't be intimidated. Be very confident and let them know, no problem. We could have my own people escrow it during the due diligence period.